Hi, welcome to Pumpkin Seed Snacks. I'm Mackie, and I'm going to show a basic recipe for baking pumpkin seeds and then talk about some ways you can use them in snacks or in some baking. This recipe uses about 2 cups of pumpkin seeds, and usually one carving pumpkin will yield about 1 to 2 cups. So usually people only do 1 pumpkin's worth of seeds. So this recipe is geared toward that. The first step to toasting pumpkin seeds is to get all the pulp and stringy pumpkin guts off of the seeds. It doesn't take long, but it's kind of icky. So you definitely want to get all the excess pumpkin bits off. They'll just burn in the oven. I also like to give the seeds a quick rinse to get rid of the remaining pumpkin slime and then kind of pat them dry. Once that's done, I start preheating my oven. I preheat to 325. And as it's preheating, I toss the seeds in some canola oil and salt. I use the recipe's 2 tablespoons, and that's just about what I use. I use a little less because it doesn't take too much oil to coat the seeds, and you want to toss the seeds until there's a nice even coat. And then you sprinkle about 1 tablespoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper, and make sure you toss them to get the coating and seasonings evenly distributed. After coating, pour the seeds out in a thin layer on a baking sheet. You want to spread the seeds out, otherwise they'll cook unevenly. You'll have big piles. You want it to be a nice thin layer across the cookie sheet. Once the oven's ready, pop the tray in and bake for 45 minutes, flipping or stirring the seeds about every 10. I really watch them because pumpkin seeds burn pretty easily in the oven, so about every 10 minutes I will take the tray. It'll still be in the oven, but I'll take it and use some tongs just to sift through them, kind of flip them, checking their color, making sure everything's being evenly cooked. And you want to do that to make sure they brown evenly. Once they're done, they'll be this nice golden brown. And this recipe is very easy to adjust for other seasonings and oils, as well as oven temps. Depending on what you would like to do with the seeds after you bake them, you can use other seasonings to coat them. You can use cinnamon and sugar, Cajun seasoning, garlic salt. All of these would make very tasty snack flavors and can be used on a variety of different snacks or in a variety of different things. The basic thing is to remember to stick to about 1 tablespoon of your seasoning. Otherwise, you might have too much. If you go more than that, you really just need enough to lightly coat your seeds that everything has a little bit of the flavor. In a similar vein, you can also change out the oil. I use canola oil, but other oils could be used. You just need about 2 tablespoons or enough to give the seeds a basic coat. Melted butter, vegetable oil, and Crisco work. Olive oil is an option. You don't have to watch, but you do have to watch closely, as olive oil can be a little bit finicky in the oven, which is why I tend not to use it. It burns easier than other oils I've used. I use canola but just because I am used to it. I know how it works. I know how long before it starts burning. My biggest suggestion to you is, if you want to change out the oil, use what you know. So if you know how to use olive oil without burning it, cool. If you have a vegan oil you like to use or vegetarian oil, as long as you know how to use it, it should work. Depending on your preferences and your time constraints and on your oven, you can also bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes, but you have to check the seeds every 8 or 9 minutes because they burn a little faster at a higher temperature. You want to check them and stir them a little bit more frequently. You could also bake it at a lower temperature, 300 degrees Fahrenheit, for an hour, but again, you're still stirring every 10 minutes just to make sure they don't burn. Now, once the seeds are toasted, you can eat them as is, which they're tasty, crunchy snack, or you can use them in other ways. Pumpkin seeds can be put on sweetbreads as part of the crumble or to add some extra nutrients to your bread. The bread featured in the current picture is applesauce bread, and so I used cinnamon and sugar seeds to add to the apple flavor. For sweetbreads, I would use a sweeter coated seed and add it to the crumble, and it'd be a nice added flavor. Whereas for more savory breads, I would use salted seeds. So if I were to make a whole grain bread and coat it with pumpkin seeds, I would use potentially salted seeds, or I wouldn't use a seasoning at all. In addition, you can add pumpkin seeds to your favorite trail mix. So the in the same picture, the trail mix is made with walnuts, dried cranberries, dried mangoes, and salted pumpkin seeds. It's a nice balance of sweet and salty. I quite enjoy it. Pumpkin seeds would make a great addition to homemade granola as well. They're really easy. If you can add seeds to it, you can use pumpkin seeds as a substitute. One of my favorite snacks, though, is cinnamon sugar pumpkin seeds, popcorn, and mini chocolate chips. It's a nice, sweet, and salty snack to go along with watching Halloween movies, and I like making that during October. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy your pumpkin seed snacks.